What's up YouTube, it's me, and I'm going to do my Gotham recap for Season 2, Episode 18, called Pinewood. So here we go. So it starts off where it left off last week, was with Barbara Keene standing in Jim Gordon's doorway. And of course Jim is curious why she's standing there in his doorway. She says she's cured, she's sane. She's not the same insane woman as she was before. Pretty much Jim said, "Get out, I don't have time for this. Thank you very much, goodbye." Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne is in his mini Batcave, version 1. Him and Alfred and Fox are digging deep into Thomas Wayne's computer. Bruce finds a calendar on the computer and finds out Thomas Wayne actually visited somebody a week before he died. And this person's name was Karen. Bruce finds out, writes down her name, writes down the address of where she's located, and pretty much ups and leaves and says, "Alfred, I'm going, you can come if you want, see you later." They get to this house, an abandoned house out in the middle of nowhere. Alfred knocks and he's like, "Oh, no one's home, gotta go." Bruce is like, "Oh, I don't think so." He picks the lock, they walk inside, Alfred sees something or hears something, and there's Karen in the corner. First, she strikes Alfred in the hand. Alfred thinks it was a knife. It wasn't a knife. It was her actual hand that looks like a bird claw or something like that. Turns out she was in some kind of experiments 10 years before. Turns out Thomas Wayne started Pinewood, but somebody turned it upside down, turned it into his own experiments. Thomas tried to shut it down, and one thing led to another, and that's how Thomas Wayne got killed, but we'll get to that in a minute. She explains she does not want to go back. She explains she knew Thomas, and she explained that Thomas did visit her. You know, he came by a lot, birthday presents, this and that, because Thomas felt bad that she was part of this experiments from this person. Also told Bruce that she knows where this Pinewood place is, and Bruce insisted on her taking them over there. She was hesitant at first, but she did take him over there. Took him over there, knowing it was abandoned, hoping Bruce would give up on the case, but no, I don't think so. That's not Bruce Wayne. He figured it out. He said, "You took me here on purpose. You knew it was shut down. I'm not giving up. I wanna know who was responsible for my father's death." Anyway, there was two guys there looking for Karen, and they were chasing him around. Karen killed one, clawed him right in the throat. And then Karen, Alfred, and Bruce walk out of the building, and there's police cars everywhere. So they arrest Alfred and take Bruce in. Meanwhile, there's Jim Gordon trying to track down the lady. You guys remember the lady? She hired the Flamingo a little while back. She's in the wind. No one knows where she is. Jim does his own, as you could say, interrogation work. He's not part of the police force just yet. He told Barnes he doesn't want to be a cop just yet until he solves the Wayne case. So Jim's running around doing his interrogation, dipping criminals' heads in toilets, you know, beating them up, trying to get information out of them. And one of them does say, the lady's at this club, I forgot the club's name, but she might be over there. And Jim's like, "Thank you," and then punches the crap out of him. Jim goes there, and it's a women's only club, it's a members only club. He turns around, there's Barbara Keene dressed up in makeup and says, "Oh, I'm a member. Sorry, you know, blah blah this, blah blah that." He goes, "I can help you find new information." Jim's hesitant on maybe she's telling the truth or not, so Jim finally goes along with it, and he lets Barbara go in there, talk to the lady, get information out. Jim tried to sneak in through the back door. One of the security guards, which is a woman, caught him. Jim turned around, and then Barbara from behind had a knife to Jim's throat and said, you know, she's back to her old self again, supposedly. She's trying to play the evil Barbara again. I knew she was playing around. I knew she was trying to help Jim. She was trying to get the lady to tell the information. While they were talking to Jim while he was tied up in the chair, Barbara actually got the lady to tell some information. She said the guy's name is the Philosopher. That's all she knows. She talked to him by phone. Barbara's like, "See, Jim, you got your name." And then she pulls out a stun stick and stuns the lady and the security guard. They fall down. She's like, see Jim, told you I was helping you. When Jim and Barbara leave, Jim says, I still don't need your help. Thanks, but no thanks. His phone rings, and it's Bruce, obviously telling him we got arrested, come get me. Jim's like, holy crap, and he runs towards the other way. Arrives at the GCPD, he gets out Alfred. Bruce was talking to Barnes, told him the truth. Barnes sent Karen to Blackgate. She's in the van with 2 guards, one driving, one in the back with her. She's the only one that can identify the philosopher by face. She doesn't know the name, just his nickname, which is the philosopher, and his face. So Jim's plan is to break out Karen out of the van. So that's what they do. Jim, Bruce, and Alfred actually stop the transport truck, or the transport van. What they do is they got a bunch of money from Bruce, put it in a bag, so the van stops, the driver gets out, checks the money, and says, oh sweet, free money, yes! While the driver's out, Gordon knocks on the back door, the other guard walks out, Jim knocks him out, they take Karen, they drive the truck, they're driving, trying to get away, and then Alfred stops immediately. Guess who's there? Victor Freeze, yes. Hugo Strange and Miss Peabody got a whiff of Karen. Their experiment from long time ago was out, and they were afraid she was gonna talk and rat him out. So Hugo sent Victor on a field trip to go get Karen and pretty much get rid of her. So that's what he did. He was there for Karen. Karen knew that and said, Bruce, he's here for me, I don't want you to get hurt. So she runs out, pretty much commits suicide, lets Victor freeze her with the gun, and just smashes her into pieces. Meanwhile, Bruce is pissed. He is pissed. He promised Karen nothing would happen to her, and he's livid. Go back to the Wayne Manor. There's Jim, there's Bruce, there's Alfred. Bruce is beside himself. He promised Karen that he would protect her, nothing would happen to her. And Alfred's like, if you can't accept this thing, you're not ready. What I meant by that was by pursuing this case. He said there will be others. You gotta be prepared for that. If you're not mentally strong, you're not ready for all this. After that, Mr. Fox comes in from God knows where, and he says, I might have something. Pulls out something from his briefcase. He did his research, you know, blah 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 this, the philosopher back in the day. You know how Mr. Fox does. There's a picture of like 15 people in a photograph. The front 2 are Thomas Wayne and Hugo Strange back in the day. And when they find the names on the road, they go down on the paper. It says Thomas Wayne, and right next to him it says Hugo Strange, in quotation marks next to his Hugo Strange's name, the philosopher. They figured out who the philosopher was, and Bruce is even more pissed because Hugo Strange was a friend of Thomas back in the day, is what Bruce thinks. And he's like, that's not right. It's not fair. Somebody close to my dad killed them. Hugo Strange is celebrating his victory, I guess you could say. The alarm went off. Him and Miss Peabody ran downstairs, and it's patient 44 coming to life, I guess. Patient 44 is beating up all the doctors down there. Had to be like 6 or 7 of them, beating the crap out of them. When patient 44 finally gets up, guess who it is? It's Theo Gallivan. Yes, Theo Gallivan is alive and well. He gets up from his chair, he's mumbling something, and all I heard out of that was Azrael. You know, something Azrael. Apparently Gallivan is Azrael as of right now. I don't know how that's gonna work out. We'll see how that goes. My thought about this episode, I knew it was probably Gallivan that was gonna wake up. Take a wild guess that Fish Mooney's the next one to wake up. Jerome probably won't wake up until we very least expect it. We just did episode 18. I don't know how far they're gonna go. 22, 23 maybe, I don't know. But it's intense and it's gonna get even better. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching my recap of Gotham. See you next week for episode 19. It's gonna be good.